Morning, chiropractic champions, warriors, chiropractors out there. I wanted to talk today about the first step towards your growth and your wealth. A lot of times, you hear people and they're on their pursuit. I want to grow. I want to see more people. I want to have a bigger impact. I want to serve more people. I want to have wealth. I want to make more money. So you hear that, and a lot of times people think it's motivation. So a lot of times people think, the first step is, hey, just to go inspire those people. And I want to say something to you, and I say it out of respect to all of us. How many times have you gone to an event, a seminar? And I'm not saying they're not important to go to, right? But if the seminar only gives you some kind of spark, some inspiration, if you will, if you get motivated, right? And that's all you get. You just get that spizz, if you will, right? And you go back to the office, within a short amount of time, within a week, maybe 2 weeks, you're right back to the way things were. So it's not motivation. The trick, the magic is something far more important than that. It's life-sustaining, it's life-changing. And I think it's something that we all need to focus on first, before we all jump on, hey, I just need to be inspired. I just need a little extra spizz. I just need somebody to kick me in the butt and get me going. And that isn't the magic. And I'll tell you why. Because listen, if that's all you get, nothing changes. If that's all you do, nothing's going to change for you. It's got to be far bigger. It's got to be, hey, Bobby, good morning, man. It's got to be far bigger. It's got to be far more significant than just motivation and inspiration. Before I share it with you real quick, guys, remember, like this video, like it, and share it. Put it on a group. Share it in a message with some other chiropractors. If it resonates with you, if you find it valuable, absolutely share it with some other docs and help change and elevate their life. So what is the magic? What is the magic? The magic is education. It's educating yourself. And sometimes it sounds boring. Spizz sounds more fun. Spizz sounds more exciting. But let me ask you this. Let's say that you're dragging a cart. You're dragging a cart and it doesn't have any wheels. And you just never heard of the wheel. You've never heard of a wheel, right? And you're like dragging this. And somebody comes along and says, hey, listen, man, you know what? You're almost there. Come on, let's inspire you. Let's get you going. Come on, you could do it. You could do it. And you're like, okay, and you're working harder and harder. And, eventually you're just going to get burnt out. But all of a sudden the neighbor in the next village, they invented a wheel, right? And you go over to their camp and you're like, holy Jesus, look at this thing. This is freaking awesome. If I put a wheel on my cart, I don't have to work nearly as hard and I can complete exactly the same task. And that's what education does. Education teaches you, if you will, how to add wheels to your life. Another example I always use is a shovel versus a backhoe. I mean, if you're just using a shovel, in order for you to dig more ditches, in order for you to dig more dirt, you got to work harder. You got to get inspired, right? You got to get motivated. But at some point, that's going to wear out. And then somebody over there says, hey, I got a backhoe. My God, you could sit in this air-conditioned cabin with the favorite music playing, hopefully it's Frank Sinatra, and you can get a lot done. The problem with motivation and inspiration is, if without the education, you're a motivated idiot, and I say that out of respect to everybody. You just got some guy or some lady over there who's an idiot who's just motivated, and they're just moving along, and they're not getting a lot of things done. So the magic is education. So the magic to your future, the magic to making changes in your future is education. Now, where do you find most of your education is your past. Your past is your education. A lot of times people look at their past as, you could label it any way you want. You could label your past as, wow, it was really horrible. I had a horrible experience. These horrible things happened. Hey, now I got a great idea. Let's label myself as a victim. All these awful things happening. But I got another way to label your past. And your past is an education. Your past is your education. Your past is where you can draw motivation from. Your past is where you can look back and go, man, I messed up. So one of the things we always do in our coaching program is we always talk to docs about, hey, listen, come up with a column, and this isn't to beat you down, It's where'd you mess up? Write down 10 things that you messed up. And then write down what you're going to do, what you learned, and what are some things you can do in order to, if you will, move forward from that. Hey, this is what I did. Whether it's hiring somebody in your staff, whether it's educating people, whether it's, not doing a report, whether it's maybe adjusting on day one, all those things that we look at that we know will harm us, look at that and say, geez, I messed up. What am I going to do? I'm going to motivate myself. I'm going to educate myself from that. Wow, I don't want to keep doing that anymore. I picked an apple, or I'm sorry, I picked a candy bar over the apple. I messed up, right? I should have gone to the gym this morning, but I didn't. I messed up. I should have gotten to the office a little earlier and read a little DD. I messed up. I should have got on the way home that night. I should have grabbed some science articles that my staff and I could have used in the morning to help educate us and get us inspired about why children need care, to sharpen our sword, to polish our armor, to get focused on what we need to do. I didn't do it. I messed up. Use that as your education. Use that as where you're going to draw your motivation. Use that where you're going to draw your inspiration. Write down some areas in your life that you messed up, and then write down the action steps that you're going to do so you don't keep messing up. And just pick 2 or 3. You might come up with 50. Hell, I might come up with 300, right? But you're going to write down those areas and say, listen, I messed up in a lot of areas. I'm going to write down the action steps on 3 of them that I'm going to do. Or what did I learn from those 3 things? And how can I turn those into opportunities? How can I take what I learned from my past, the education, and apply it today so that I'm better, that I'm smarter, that I'm seasoned, that I have greater wisdom, that I have greater motivation, that I'm more inspired from what didn't go great last time or last year or the last 5 years. Or you could be a victim. Victims, right? Victims are never going to get anywhere. Champions and winners, right? They're always growing. They're able to do something in times of adversity. They're able to do things in times of challenging times that no one else is going to do. That's why there's so few of them, and that's why we talk about them. That's why we revere them. Because we look at them and go, wow, you know what? In times of mediocrity or in times of challenging times, everybody kind of defaults to mediocrity. Oh, geez, take what's happening with the pandemic. How many of people are just sitting home collecting a check? And they're so worried what the government's going to do to give them. See, that's a victimhood mentality. That's an idea that, hey, something outside myself is going to come save me. No one's going to save your ass, right? The reality is this: winners, champions, warriors, what do? We say, what am I going to do? We're chiropractors. We look within ourselves. We're innate. We're universal intelligence. We look within ourselves to say, hey, what can I do? How can I make myself better? What can I do to make myself a better sword, if you will, so I can cut, right, and I'm polished and I'm ready to go and I'm more decisive and I can make better decisions, right? That's what winners do. That's what champions do. That's learning from your past. That's the reality of taking education and applying it to make yourself better each and every single day. At the very least, make nighttime better than morning. My goal today is to make the nighttime better than the morning. My goal today is to make today better than yesterday, even if it's one incremental little thing. Take an ant. An ant takes a little piece of sand and incrementally adds that sand, and boy, eventually you come up and you're like, man, look at this sand hill. It's amazing what they could do. Look at a skyscraper over time-elapse photography when they build it, right? It looks like they're doing nothing. They're digging a hole, they're putting concrete, you got rebar sticking out of it. Geez, you come back a year later and you're like, oh my God, a year and a half later, you stand there and you say, wow, that's unbelievable what they did, right? It's incremental little changes done consistently that's going to make you successful. That's going to bring you greater wealth. It's doing the right thing consistently. That's why Aristotle said what? And Socrates, they say what? Success is a habit. It's a discipline. It's something you apply consistently. And your motivation and inspiration comes from your education. It comes from what you did in your past that did work or didn't. Wow, that went great. I'm going to make sure I keep doing that. Wow, that went lousy. How can I make it work out better? Or I'm never doing that again, right? Some of us got to touch the stove 12 times to realize not to burn ourselves again, right? Others, sometimes the school is, I never need to touch the stove. I never need to burn myself because I educated myself before. Both of them are different avenues of school. We've both experienced both avenues ourselves. We've all made mistakes. The reality is, don't let them be mistakes in vain. Learn from them, educate yourself from them, right? And then what? Write down 3 or 4 things that you're going to do to change it, or what you'll never do, or what you need to do. That's how you make your life better. That's how you make your practice better. How do you market? How do you talk to people in the office? Do you have a script? Do you have different ways to talk to people? I have people say, well, I don't like scripts. Everybody's scripted. Every doctor that says they don't like scripts, I'm telling you right now, if I went in and recorded you, you're scripted right now. You just don't think you're scripted because you're winging it in there. The reality is you're not being concise and you're not being consistent. So you want to be concise and consistent, but be yourself. I understand you want the authenticity. But those are the things of education. Learning how to manage a new patient. Learning how, that doesn't mean you're not a phenomenal chiropractor. That doesn't mean you're not somebody who's the world's greatest adjuster. But if you're the world's greatest adjuster and you can't bring people in your office and you can't keep them in your office, well, hell, you're the greatest chiropractor that can't adjust anybody. So you're not helping anyone. So you got to learn other things. You have to educate yourself in other ways, in other venues, in other avenues, so that you can be the world's greatest chiropractic adjuster who's able to adjust a ton of people so that you can, affect the lives of thousands, tens of thousands of people, and be paid handsomely for it, as you should be, okay? Hey, I'm Dr. Joe Borio, Coach Borio. How do you get more Borio in your life? God help you, right? Hit the link above. Get on a free coaching call with me, 30 minutes, get you to acuity. Get on a call with me. Let's talk about what's going good. Let's talk about what maybe isn't going so good. Maybe you're just starting out your practice. Maybe you've been in practice for 30 years, and maybe you're at a point where you're like, wow, you know what? I just want to do more. I know there's more in here. I know I'm capable of more. I'm frustrated with where I'm at, or I'm frustrated with what I've been able to do. I thought I was going to do a lot more. I thought I was going to be in a different place than I am right now. Let's talk about that. Maybe things are going great and you need to be in a group to just keep things great, right? Sustain that level of success. So that's what Chiropassion is. It's a membership. It's a subscription. It's a one-on-one with me. You get videos. You get CA training. You get to be around other mentors within the group that'll just elevate all of us to make us better today than we were yesterday. Maybe you're ready to join the program. Just click the link, chiropassionconsulting.com. Jump online. We've got a Mastery Gold and an Elite program. Both programs are phenomenal. They come with different fee schedules and they come with different commitment levels. So no matter where you're at, hey, you're starting out, finances are tough. Maybe you're in practice, finances are a challenge. Jump on the Mastery Gold program. We had a couple docs who were on Mastery Gold 2 weeks ago, and they just jumped up to the Elite program. Wherever you want to do it. We also have a big event coming up in Oklahoma. We're real excited about. That's going to be in Oklahoma City. That's going to be November 6th, November 7th. We start 4 o'clock on Friday, go to 9. We got a party. Woo! Yeehaw, right? Giddy up. And then on Saturday, we're going to be there all day. And let me tell you something about our events, our Mastery Practice events. They're awesome. And I say that humbly, and I'm going to tell you why. They're not a sales pitch for 2 hours. We've all been to those events, right? It's just a sales pitch on everything. It's clarity, it's certainty, it's communication, it's science, it's adjusting technique, it's CA training. I mean, you are literally going to leave that event and you're going to be fired up on Monday. Bring your CAs. They're going to be fired up on Monday to kick some ass. And we do a CA training and CA breakout that's open to everyone. If it's a first-time event, I don't care if you got 10 people in your office, it's $199 for the whole crew, okay? And that's how you change your life. That's how you change your practice. That's how you educate yourself to be a better version of your former self. Love and appreciate you guys. Live your day with some fun, have some excitement, take care of people, and live your life with passion. Wait, better yet, hold on. Live your life with Chiropassion. Talk to you soon.